Alright, let's continue with this. Also, I did look up the the whispering dialogue from the previous chapter. Even the beginner's guide wiki didn't even have anything on it, so yeah, I'm not going to do it because it will consume me if I try and figure it out. Anyway, let's continue. This one's called Porn Stars Die Too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Oh, okay. Reminds me of Payday, which I think was made in the Source engine originally, wasn't it? Payday? Heists? Can't remember. Probably. Once you get into the beat of that noise, it's not so disruptive as much as it's kind of catchy. Okay. Well,
See, this is it,
well.
the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. A prison filled with modern furniture is called IKEA. I've been there. I spent hours in there. I put a giant hole in the ground. That's not a... That's... I want a big picture of a horse. That's not a horse, though. This is like ordering from a catalogue. You order one thing, and when you get it, it doesn't look anything like the picture. It's like, god damn it. I'm thinking I want a 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED. Yep. I got a table. I don't need a table. I already got a table. Tables were invented in 1935. You know, funnily enough, tables is one of them interesting things, like, no matter where you are in the world, complete cultural separation. All humanity managed to develop tables. And, you know, to some respect chairs, but mainly tables. They managed to design a raised platform and found that the best method is to put 4 legs on each corner. So it's a weird little thing, that. Okay. I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. And that's what we call voting in democracy. Yep, there we go. That's actually a 3-piece suit. Hello!
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
It's not. This is the traumatized mind of someone who has been in IKEA.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Let me guess. Home base? Hello, please walk forwards. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully and take care that you remember each step. Oh. First click on the table. Good, go over to the photo frame and turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and then turn it back on again. Now go to the left side sofa and move it over a little. Oh. Finally touch the shelves. Bing, bing, bong. That's great. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start and be taken back to your prison. Hell to the no. What happens if I click these? Nothing. Return. Very, sounds a bit like Blade Runner.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Interesting.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually it.
Okay, so what that obviously was, well, to my to my trained opinion, was artist block. When you're an artist and you don't know what to draw, and you don't know what to paint, you don't know what to write, you end up just, sometimes you just go crazy and scribble all over the paper and mash the keyboard. Sometimes you start writing something, you write completely something different, and you end up hating it and throwing it away. But that's just the way it is. It's just an artistic process. It's not meant to be understood, really, the artistic process. It's just, I don't know, it's like your brain's trying to figure out what it can out of itself. And you just hit a block. Oh hey, Bill and Ted's been here. Excellent! Hello, who is this? Hey, this is me. I'm you from after you escaped from the prison. You're me? ... So, you're trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. All of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Well, it's that whole matter of, like, when you're depressed, sometimes one of the best methods of recovery is to write. I mean, I've been there. And writing it's really, really helpful. Creative outputs are really helpful to have. And writing is really good because it helps you just map out all of your ideas on paper. In whatever way. I mean, this guy literally made maps instead of writing. That was his way of doing things, how his brain works. So it makes sense. Writing is a good therapy, and if anybody needs to take anything away from this game at this point, then it would be just get a little notepad open on your computer, your tablet, pen and paper, classic, and just write. And it doesn't even have to be the things that are on your mind, it just could be anything, but your brain will find a way to help you figure it out. It's like taking a dog for a walk. That's good therapy for dogs. Getting them out walking is good. It's the same with us. We take our brain for a walk. So let's go through this. I mean, the prison could actually be like a low state of mind. You do feel trapped in your own head when you haven't got anybody to talk to, and you do feel like you are literally moving the furniture around in your head trying to figure everything out. And in a way you do kind of miss that sometimes, and it's nostalgia and rose tinted glasses. It's never a good thing to go back. I knew its limits, I knew my place. That's it. People get into that. Maybe I only like things once, I don't have them anymore. But don't you feel excited about getting out, the promise of freedom? I'm gonna pick that one because that's what you should, that's the mindset you should have. It's the only thing that matters to me. It's the only thing keeping me going. Excited doesn't really do it justice. Exactly, you have something to care about, something to look forward to. You won't always have something that you care about as much as this. Just be with that enthusiasm for a bit. Let it ooze into your flesh. I'm gonna go with the first one. You gotta ride high. Ride high! Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. Just... It will make sense. I will be here for as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be. Sometimes you don't even believe it yourself. That's the crazy thing. You could be assured a billion times.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Man, these opening shots are just fantastic. It looks beautiful. You know, it's just a fantastic vignette. I love it.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. There, I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night. I'll finish up here. In the meantime, can you please clear the table? Please run to the red room and make the bed. See, now, from my perspective, this cleaning of the house is, and the happy music, you know, it's recovery in a way. Because, you know, you get to a point where you just want to do everything over, and you think, well, the first place to start would be to tidy. And I'll be honest, when I'm when I'm sad, I just go and do the dishes. It helps. I like this though. This is a good narrative. I feel compared to showing incredibly cheesy personal insight. Make it especially cheesy, Boxhead. Oh. No. Come on. Tell. Okay. There we go. The tub needs cleaning. we go. We're all just human. And those books scattered on the floor of the bedroom. If so, put them back on the shelf. There's a feeling you get from cleaning as well. I'll be honest, like there's a feeling of accomplishment you get after you've done like a clean. And when you go to bed in a clean bedroom and you just got a nice tidy bed, you know, and you just sit around and you look at your room and you think, God damn, this just feels great. Everything's in its place where it needs to be, kind of thing. It's just, I don't know, it's good therapy in a way. Writing and cleaning. These ain't chores, kids. These are methods of survival.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
A few of them will stick out as truly
I know that
wonderful
Coda really
beautiful
liked this game.
experiences.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy, all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Oh, there you go, it's recovery. To some degree. In your lifetime, you're going to clean a lot of houses. And among all of those, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences. And none of them will be the ones that were easy. Just something to think about. Getting a bit emotional. It's weird, it makes sense, that's all. It's just weird. Top. Yeah, it's true. It's a representation. It's an external manifestation of your state of mind, your environment.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
I mean, I could literally just play this for about a good hour, I'm not gonna lie. Because it's just...
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, in a way, this is like... That's it. You know? There are these times, you know, even in my own personal life where you're doing this and everything is good. And it is good for a time. You know? But you know that through these big glass windows is a nasty dark thing waiting. And you know that you can't ride high through all this forever. And it's the whole matter, like, I'm even now playing this genuinely, I actually don't want to leave this environment, because this is a warm environment, it's nice, and they strip the windows away, so you're exposed to the elements by force. And outside it's cold and unforgiving, it's like, you know, it's depression. It's like depression. I always say that depression is or grief as well, it's a waiting sickness. It waits. It waits until you're all alone, and there's no one around to talk to, and you're just pacing around, and in the most private moments for yourself, it just sits there waiting. And you know you've got to go through it, because there is light at the end. But it's always difficult. Yeah, this game clicks, man. This game clicks with me. I like it. It's an emotional journey. I'm getting over some things myself, so it's interesting to play this again. I understand it a bit better this time around.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Items you love.
This one gets a bit
members
goofy.
only prices. Did you come here? Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, that person is better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think who do you think about that way in your life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. This is so easy. It is
About
so
halfway
easy.
through the game, the perspective shifts. And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
No, you can't walk up there. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of like an outside looking in kind of thing. Like, everybody's the same. It's something like you learn over time. Is, you know, you look up to people. You see like people in better jobs, managers, bosses, whatever you want to call them, teachers, politicians. You name it. Everybody is just muddling through life. And they, you know, a lot of people don't know what they're doing a lot of the time. They're just as confused as you, but they're just better at hiding it. Trust me on that one. When you figure that out, you feel a little bit bulletproof about people, because you're like, you don't know as much as you say you do. Okay. Let's just be depressing, shall we? Let's be honest. Let's be honest with the crowd. Kids should not follow their dreams. I still love you. Wait, what? Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Let's just be depressing. Let's just be depressing. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Hey, Bal, do you want to go do some eckies? What if I'm not a good teacher?
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
It's an interesting narrative. Okay.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Backstage. What's this? Enter stage left. Places, please. God damn. Remind me to never perform on stage. 'Cause this is just daunting, isn't it? In the scene you'll be playing as me, we're at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Look at that bump mapping, guys. Ooh. Ha. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello, is that it? It's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. You really can. This is like my internal monologue right now. Here are all my hopes and dreams. I want to ride a Labrador through a forest. No, I like you. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted and I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. Now talk to her again. I'm going to bounce these first. Boing. Okay. Let's just saunter up to her and be like, hey lady. Hey there, baby. Okay. So I bet you've learned to lean into the pain. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak out if the conversation gets too personal that quickly. Do you not realise how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. I see. So this is the whole thing of like, to me, this is a kind of, oh Jesus. Okay, so this is the kind of thing like, well, you know when you screw up, it's like a Walter Mitty thing, and you play it back in your head, what you should have said, what you should have done, and it's that kind of thing, and it's, yeah. Oh no. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you guys. Have a good day.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.